everyone is. We got lots of tips. You guys you'll get caught up when we get in, but let's see who's going to be able to come out on top. A very exciting matchup, of course. You're always going to be said. This is many X with the previous TI, of course. Some recent players that lost against Falcons, so that is always something that's going to be there in the back of the minds. The Xtreme boys. It's also cool to see pretty much a reunion. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have said it already, seeing Vici, but I haven't covered them yet, so I'll say it. I won't say too many more times, but seeing pretty much the full reunion of PSG LGD, that one stage, or maybe whatever Seattle was. I don't remember what TI that was. Maybe 11, 12? Anyway, I think 11. Yeah, that was just minus. They had nothing to say mid instead of XM. So,
well, if you want to go a bit further to the 10 one, there are some differences, of course. I mean, these players, they've played a lot of TIs, been in a lot of TI grand finals as well. Some of them won it. 2 of them, that is, right? Wait, was XM part of Wings?
No. That was
right?
That was Blink, that mid laner.
Yeah. But they do have two players that did take it all the way on their side. Let's see if they can take it versus Falcons here. Let's see what they can do versus Falcons in the laning stage. I'm very interested in the top lane. I feel like that one is the lane that can go really badly or really well for Bach and Planet.
So you mentioned that you did feel like this lane was pretty heavy on Skeeter and the Chen, and like how he was able to play off it. What are some key things on this lane specifically for snaking that he needs to be paying attention to?
It's like the Hellbear. It's all about the Hellbear, I feel like, like how do you utilize it? I really think that he can do a lot of work with Penitence, with the Hellbear, because everything gives attack speed. It's like Chen and Ursa, it's a nasty combo because of the attack speed that you get from Hellbear. The attack speed that you can give to Ursa as well. And he just gets those Fury's Pipes stacks even earlier. So far, he's done this cool play in which he's not feeding the Hellbear away like most players do. Instead, he's just hiding in the trees and blocking the hard camp with it. Which is a cool approach because you don't have to waste sentries on the hard camp now.
Yeah, and speaking about the camps as well, they didn't block the smaller, which was a little bit surprising, to be honest, on Vici. I think snaking, or maybe they did, but no, I don't see a sentry dewarded in the feed, so I think snaking already came out. Now they'll do it, but you've done your job. Like, you do have a double range creep, so the lane will push in, but you're setting up pretty nicely here for Skeeter early, who's gone for a bracer on the Ursa.
Yeah, just to sustain himself a little bit. Skeeter doesn't shy away from doing something a little bit different with his builds, and I like what he did with the bracer because he's going to get attack speed anyway, and he needs to just be able to stick in the lane through the Firestorm. Bracer is a nice item overall. He buys it on Weaver as well sometimes.
Gotta say, it's a hideous bristle set. Or at least how he's designed the bristle, I should say.
He looks like he's missing something.
Yeah, I don't know. Just something doesn't look right. Like, what is this, bro?
It looks so dumb. I agree.
I feel like this is old Zai playstyle. I just remember, of course, with his Primal Beast, where he tried to make the Primal Beast look like a monstrosity. It just make it look the worst you possibly can, just to distract the enemy team. I feel like he's doing not a bad job with the bristle here.
Why is it so small, though? By the way, it's so tiny.
What do you want the build for bristle to be in a game like this? Someone that has got a pretty versatile item build.
What can you get this game? I feel like the normal build is something like a Lotus, right? And a pipe, I think it's not too bad for him here as well. There's a lot of magic damage coming from the other side. You need some armor as well for the TA. Let's see what Amar goes for, but I feel like this hero is always very versatile. I love when Bristle can just focus on himself and go for his own survivability and damage output, but in this game, I don't think it's that necessary. He's got the Ember and the Ursa. Crit?
No crit, yeah. He's going to be run down and will give up first blood. Why? So able to get a bunch of harass early on with the use of the, of course, Liquid Frost along with the Dual Breath, and finally Shiro was able to step in to clean up. And well, we haven't paid too much attention to mid, but XM is having a very good time at the moment, 28 and 10 compared to the 23 and 2. So it does have a level advantage at the moment, which might bite Lauren off in the back, but no Vortex level. Top lane, why? Rotation for him. Skitter's going to have to run the opposite direction away from the safety of his tower. Crip will try and mirror the TP. Is it enough to keep Skitter alive? It looks like it is. They feed him a Lotus as well. So maybe Snake King's going to die to the Jakiro damage. So check out a random blood grenade as well. Snake, he'll have the regen to stay through. And Nemo, why? He might not. Skitter did commit full. Oh, got the deny on the neutral. Very nicely done. So gets a refresh of the health pool and mana and gets the kill as well.
Yeah, just a perfect... That's the bracer right there, you know. It's the... It helped him out, tanked him up a little bit to get denied in the end. They put a lot of effort into this play on top, by the way, and they didn't get really anything out of it. Even Chen didn't have to go base, he sticks around, and like I think he's the biggest winner here, because he comes out on top with experience. Minute 6, let's see. Seems like they will be trading. Yeah. Bot and top.
The Arcane, very nice for Storm. What we want to do with this though on XM, just going to go back and farm. I think the build as well is going to be for the Storm Spoon game like this. Some of the smaller items can be changed up.
And not too shabby so far for the Storm Spirit. 42 lasted versus 35 on the Ember. Maybe some rotation potential towards the Wisdom Shrine too. Jakiro and TA are pushing in. They've got a Carti down bottom.
Just double checking the TP status at the moment. Everyone's able to TP down if they want. Amar's going to be able to go back to base and fill up the resources in time so he can also defend. Meanwhile, we do have Lorinov that's also invading.
Is this the play?
And it's in a good position to scout, but you've already got the rest of Falcons set up on the low ground, and they're going to run him straight towards that direction. They're going to be careful, though. Yeah, is this the play? You're fighting on top of the Firestorm, and as long as they don't lose the Wisdom, then Vici, without a doubt, will come out on top. I mean, Bach was struggling inside the lane, but man, did this Firestorm put in some work.
Absolutely. It's also the power of Dark Willow, right? Like, if they got the Wisdom Shrine there, it's still not worth it, but it kind of makes it a bit more even. But Dark Willow is able to just use the Shadow Realm and go into the Shrine, so they cannot take it. It bought just enough time for Storm Spirit to connect. And of course, Storm with Arcane Rune, absolutely loving that fight.
Keeps him going very quickly here for XM with the start that he's got 5 Galvanized stacks. Potential of the Power Rune as well. We'll see if he gets lucky. I'm going to try and force the issue. We'll get the Invis out of XM. Doesn't have the best mana pool at the moment though, but Invis gets him out. Meanwhile, top lane. Seeing a brawl, continuing to hold some of the extra supports here. They really want to do their best to minimize some of the farm that Skeeter's able to get off the back of the lane.
As long as he's not 6, as long as he doesn't have that enrage, they can keep on basically bullying him. Snaking.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
He wasn't really able to convert, right? Like with the level 5 Chen, to get a couple of nice creeps and start moving. I feel like Storm is doing exactly what Ember could have been doing right now on the bot lane. Like Ember plus Chen, I feel like TA could have been zoned out, maybe contested a little bit harder. But right now she's just absolutely free farming.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, do you feel like Shira has to leave the lane at some stage though, or can you continue to play dump bottom knowing that probably Falcons are wanting to gank pretty soon?
Until Ember and Chen are missing from the map for quite some time, I think he can literally just stay down bottom, farm the lane, farm the Ancients, farm the hard camp. He's doing a really good job at maximizing his net worth. He's top of the net worth charts, 4.7k right now. Not too bad at all.
Dire's top tower has
Very much so. The great side here is Shira, along with Vici Gaming, 2,000 net worth lead. They're going to be able to take the first tower. Pop dropping. Again, it's time for another fight here for the power rune. So even Skeet is actually going to TP in. So go secure the 50-50.
I think this is a really smart move from Skeeter, because if you think about everything that has happened, it's mostly due to the runes. Bot lane planet.
Bottom lane. Really, they're going to be able to run into the Bristol. They'll try and offer some assistance with some TPs coming down for the Gen. XM's going to be careful, but the Quill's starting to stack up. Can they turn towards crit next? He does have the innate just to work with. They will be able to have the Terrorize to protect the Jakiro. So it sends Laurenov away. And there's going to be no even trade here from Falcon. So big kill for Vici.
Once again, Vici are just playing it a little bit faster, right? Like they're always the ones making the first move, the first step. And this is pre-Fiend's Gate, by the way. They're not even utilizing Underlord's global potential. He doesn't have it yet skilled up. I think that Falcons might have missed their timing to contest the TA properly down bottom. Like, sure, you can still do it with the Ember rotation, but at this point, he's gotten a little bit too much out of the lane.
Do you like this Lotus first for Amar?
I do. I think, what did I say? Lotus and Pipe before, right? Like, these two items are basically a must for him. Like, with the Lotus, you're getting a bit more armor, of course, and you can play against the Storm. You get some dispels. Pretty good for the Ursa too, not only for yourself. Let's get the
We get the, importantly, Bach as well is a little bit too late to hold him in with the pit. So there's that first Fiend's Gate that you're waiting to see. Your Vici haven't been requiring it so far to be able to accumulate the lead that they've gotten so far. We'll see very shortly though if there's going to be more brawls around this mid lane.
Yeah, this is pretty big, by the way, for Falcons. Being able to get some of these runes now. The last two went to them. Storm made huge usage out of the Arcane Rune early on. Now with the DD, straight down bottom
lane. Yeah, because they got the Submarine trap as well. So previously you weren't sure if they're going to be able to continue to run into Shiro. They tried with the Terrorize, but it's a nice split away. Shiro's still alive, but they burned through the refraction and the health is gone as well. Now Laurenov is going to be able to run down planet next. Will Remnant over the Brambles. Does get clipped by one, but it shouldn't matter. And it's going to be a second kill for them. Bach is trying to slip by. They've got a couple of new creeps that are a little bit frustrating with the slows. And yeah, Bach would not be able to just bypass them at the same time. So this is actually 3 kills for Falcons.
It was kind of funny how he tried to slip. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just a 5-ton slug trying to pass by without you noticing. They are pressuring mid at the same time, so that's something that they've been doing. They have that zone, TA, Jakiro, of course, maxed out, Liquid Fire. This tower will almost get denied. Liquid Fire takes it down in the end. But very good rotation down bottom nonetheless. Like, this is something that I might have expected a little bit earlier from Falcons, but it's still good. You shut down the TA, you open up the map for your Ursa to rotate down bottom and farm the Ancients too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, we're gonna have to see if Ursa and Falcons can topple this 100% win rate on TA. That's the fastest Deso we've seen so far in the 11 victories
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
on this hero. So Shiro is set up for success. But it does seem like we're going to be in store for a pretty even game here. There's potentially moments where Vici could be able to do a little bit too much with the early game, like Storm and the Dark Willow, but the Falcons have stemmed the bleeding. They've been able to fall back and farm up some of their stacks. Amar's getting a big one over the Ancient, so that's going to get him closer to Lotus. Meanwhile, snaking. He's farmed up a mech. Meanwhile, quietly, Critter's got a blink as well.
He's found a lot of farm on the map. Did he get a kill on Shiro, by the way, with the words? For that thought, Lornov?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. There you go, that was the one. Extra 300 gold away as well. You know, this blink could prove to be instrumental for Falcons. If you can find some good pickoffs, maybe on the Storm, maybe on the TA again with it.
Let's see who the option's going to be for them. They will try and smoke a little bit indecisive at the moment. Bottom's going to be the call. They've got a lane ward, or at least, sorry, a ward down far to the south. It's going to see some of the farming patterns. Currently, Bach will be caught. Unfortunately, Jakiro's got a TP out, a bit of an awkward timing. If he was nearby, would have been able to cancel the shackles. Would have been pretty important to keep him alive. Oh, he tries to get Q with the Fiend's Gate, but meanwhile, maybe he was hoping the rest of the team do something with it after they got the kill, but no, they wanted the Chen instead.
Interesting build, by the way, with Perseverance on Underlord into Ags after not completing anything, just going for the mana region and the HP region. For now, maybe after the Ags is completed, he can buy a Lotus or something similar.
XM trying to stalk some Corys. Unfortunately, Skeeter's actually already gone through the portal, so he'll get the wand.
He just had region on Storm, so he's playing around with it, just taking away as much map as possible. Crit.
Is he solo?
Yep. He tried TPing out. Nice little trap positioning there by Shiro.
How do you anticipate these Roche fights to look for either side if we do get a full 5v5 there?
I think really both teams have got a pretty good chance at taking a good fight in the pit. Maybe the fight currently is a little bit easier for the TA than it is for the Ursa. Ursa down bottom.
Speaking of him,
He still didn't.
they're going to be able to get... Oh, they're going to be able to catch him. Skeeter tried to escape off the back of the teleporter. Mars going to do his best to body block him. Tries to get the leap over the high ground, but doesn't have enough distance on it.
If he leapt, he probably survives, right? Bristle has a Lotus for him anyway. For any of the dots.
Now mid lane as well. Nice. It's like very close to being off the timing there. If they connected with the Terrorize, then a potential kill.
The Planet takes it. Storm was kind of nearby and could have taken that drone, but okay, he takes it so Ember does not. Right? He didn't really have the high ground vision just yet on the Ember and his whereabouts. Yeah, let's see if that Roche fight happens, because Ursa is not there yet with the blink. That's the biggest difference maker right now. Like TA is almost fully active, has I believe almost the Dragonlance is flying out of her. So Blink dazzled D-Lance. It's not her full power mode, of course. There's some more to unlock, but she's in a good spot.
Absolutely. They're going to be able to run into Snake King as well. Now, Snake King does have some backup. Crypt's going to leap into the middle. Now, Bark will split the fight as well with the Fiend's Gate. Getting a little bit dicey for Die, considering the hesitancy of them. Lorenov will be able to even up the trade with the supports. Now, Shiro also just ran inside the Serpent Watch, so his refraction's gone. Detection's a thing in question, but it's really not going to matter for too much longer. They'll still find him under the cover of the meld. And what was looking like a great start for Vici, losing a pretty big kill in Shiro and not able to capitalize. And could they maybe get Roche with Ursa alive? No backup.
Yeah, Shiro was a bit greedy with the damage output. Like, he was doing a lot, but he stuck around on the low ground and right next to the Serpent Wards. So he took way too much damage way too early on in that fight. And it didn't feel like super necessary after the Chen kill. Maybe he could have rotated behind, but in any case, good play by Falcons. They have a Blink now flying out on Ursa, and from this point onwards, they can play the game on their own tempo. They don't have to be the ones that are getting jumped. They can do the jumping between the Ursa and the Ember. Or they can just jump the Tormi as well.
You'd be itching for a fight as soon as the Arcane's picked up from XM, but yeah, unfortunately they're too far away and also not going to be able to get there in time. So Snake King gets the shard.
Nice little 11% lifesteal at this point on the Prowler. Some health regen as well.
Radiant's middle tower
It feels like, you know, back in the day in some other patches, Chens would always take big creeps. Crit is bye-bye. Right now, I feel like there's just so much value in these secondary creeps, especially on Ancients, that you almost always go for those.
How undervalued is this Croaker creep with the Riverborn aura?
I think people do value him. I'm not sure if he's super undervalued. It's good. Like, Riverborn aura is pretty good, especially around the pit. Like, if you can take him and take the Wolf, like, it's a lot of bonus damage on your side. But it seems like he will undervalue it once again, as he takes the little Centaur Courser instead for magic resistance. Which is also, of course, pretty big. Another small creep with a good aura.
And Vici, by the looks of it, are going to give up Roche. They don't have a trap set up in the area. And they themselves are also not in a position to scout this out easily, which is a bit surprising. You know, this Ursa lineup is going to be looking for Roche pretty shortly. Do you feel like they have the correct read just to give this away and that it's not super important?
I think it's important. I think they just lost Tormentor and Aegis in a game in which they weren't really far behind at all. Like, they gave away two pretty solid objectives. It's one of the powers of Chen. Like, he brings a lot of utility, and it's hard to play into Hand of God and Mech. It's hard to play in these, like, head-on engagements. Plus, no BKB on Storm. That's another thing, right? Like, he's rushing a BKB after Kaya Sanj, and he's currently 400 gold away from it, so they probably want the BKB before they strike. They're setting up
really? Is this the play? All or nothing onto Amar? Like, is this the decision you guys want to make? Because you're going to lose XM as well. He just got the zip away. Doesn't die to the Spirit Vessel by the looks of it. Man, it's close to ticking out. But meanwhile, the fight's continuing to break through. As they started on Amar, but that was not the right decision because they will lose multiple heroes. And with the price, it's too grave to pay. Lorenov with the triple. This tier 2 tower's going to drop.
Could be high ground.
They're probably not going to stop.
Yeah, this could just... I really don't understand that play. If you wanted to take a fight this way, you could have fought in the pit then. And you could probably find a better target from a better angle. They jump the double Bracer Lotus or Bristleback, like with the Chen behind. The D-War started to go forward.
And Dark Willow as well steps a little bit too far, so we're just bleeding an extra kill. They're not going to run him down, okay.
This game was truly evenish, and it just turned into an absolute disaster.
I'm so confused what happened in that fight. Like, just a...
If they at least waited for the BKB on Storm, right? I wouldn't be confused as well. I understand your confusion.
They're still going to come out of the base. The moment Lorinov isn't here with the team, but he's got a remnant to be able to reach him. But the Fiends gets in a pretty good position. They're going to go for the backline supports this time instead. So a much easier task for them, but they're still struggling with the damage at the moment. It takes them quite some time to deal with crit. Now XM's going to zip over the right because he's got the extra macropire damage to deal with snaking. Two supports will lose their life to start the team fights. Now Shiro's trying to win the man fight 1v1. He'll get some distance with a Hurricane Pike, and Amar thinks about pushing Shiro forward. Are they going to be able to continue to play this? Because Skeeter, he's in trouble at the moment. They've lost the Aegis. Meanwhile, Lorinov and Amar, hand in hand, trying to deal with Bark. He's going to look for a TP out if they got the damage to do. Amar swipes the clubs, starting to bash some heads in. And Amar gets the double. It's an okay fight for Radiant. Yes, she get the Aegis as well out of the hands of Dire, but it's really starting to feel like these fights aren't going to get much easier.
Yep. Of course, they did take down Ursa. Like you said, Aegis, if it wasn't there, this fight would have looked much better for Vici Gaming. And you can see the difference when they strike the right targets. Like when they have a BKB and the possibility to just jump the supports, it's a completely different story, which makes the tier 2 fight down bottom even weirder in hindsight. But okay, like they have the BKB on Storm, soon another item on the TA. Like, Shiro did a really good job at waiting. Like, he piked away from Ursa, and then he waited until Enrage was off. And then he started hitting him in, like, in the last 2 seconds. Like, 5 hits hit Ursa at the same time. And he just lost the Aegis that way very quickly.
Up to 11,000 net worth lead now for Falcons. They're very happy with what they got in throughout the map recently off the back of the Aegis. But tier 3 neutral items that are being looked at as well. Crit is up to some interesting stuff. Are you dropping a ward? What are we doing? So it gets deep in enemy lines.
Mm-hmm. He's got Aether Lance, he's got Blink. Not sure what he goes for next. A BKB wouldn't be that crazy. He's got the 100 GPM. 4 stack as well, not too bad. Why?
So can they force something from Lorinov? No, they won't be able to. Actually, is he just going to run them down? Hang on, Lorinov, did you overplay your hand? You might have done just that. The damage is there. They didn't even have Shiro and they got the kill.
Now that was a beautiful debate right there. Dark Willow was a bit too far behind the trees. He had to overcommit. Pretty big kill. 50 seconds without the Ember. They are able to completely get some map control back. Oh, this guy is big though. BKB Lotus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I don't know if they saw crit inside the lane top pushing as well, so...
He's gonna run on the trap. He's on the trap. Ugh.
Get a galvanized stack at least for Mr. XM.
He died on the same place, by the way, twice now. It's the same trap that kills him.
TA, brother. Data has been worked on here for Shiro next. So again, we go. Falcons had some really good minutes, but Vici Gaming stabilizing a bit. 10,000 net worth lead, so 10,000 deficit is still a difficult position for them to be in. A lot of the gold is honestly off the back of the supports, though, if you're comparing. I mean, Chen has got about a 6k advantage. The Shaman probably 2.
Both of them
heavily favoring Falcons.
Both of them with greedy, right? Like Chen and Shadow Shaman. I mean, Chen farms faster than most supports just because of the Shadow push with the creeps. But Shadow Shaman can find some farmer, usually isn't the best farmer. With the greedy enchant, though, everything is so much easier for a lot of supports. Dark Pillar on the other side has his coupling. Why? The only one without enchant, without greedy enchant, by the way. He's got a pretty good enchant for himself, the Tree Knight. A little bit of a longer ice bat, macro pirate, so really nice. He's good.
Yeah, okay, you say that. He zipped straight on top of Amar.
And not even close.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We've seen some maybe concerns in the damage from Vici, but this Daedalus freshly getting picked up here from Shiro could change things. They do need to get out of the map, though. Amar may be vulnerable now. The amplified damage again, along with the Daedalus, is going to catch him potentially by surprise. So pop the BKB. Will actually look to TP out instead. Nice read from him.
Yeah, Pike was not used. Like if TA connected with the Pike, I think maybe from the right clicks alone, it would be enough damage. Can they take the Tormentor fast enough? It's up in a second. Has to be super quick about it.
Yeah, and you're going to have to get out as well straight away because I'm surprised they're not just zipping on the top. It's a little bit surprised they didn't force the issue a bit more. I mean, even if that's a fight where they maybe set up, I think you saw, well, yeah, you 100% know that Amar TP'd back to base. Or the T2 tower mid at least, so he's not going to be there in time. So they've an opportunity where they could have forced the issue, but you get the Tormentor onto Falcons, and now also, importantly, BKB will be up for Amar by the time Roches.
Maybe the reason why he didn't zip is Pit of Malice. Not Pit of Malice, Fiend's Gate being on cooldown, which is Pit of Malice in itself, with Dagners, of course. And the Basher Ursa, right? Maybe it's a bit scary. Probably could have, though. Snaking is bringing so much utility. This guy will have Greaves and Aghanims next is queued up already.
They're in a pretty good position to take a high ground fight here. They've got the Observer Ward set up. Control the area with Roche spawning in 15 seconds. Radiant, they'll enter the higher ground before Dire... Oh, Baronov actually got the remnant as soon as the timing was there. We've seen previously he died full to 0. This is going to be another one of those occasions. He's surviving thanks to Chen. Snaking sustain is going to be able to keep Morinov alive. It's a good pit inside the middle, but you just see the hesitancy of Radiant. They're going to have to sacrifice Bar. Will not be able to get him away. As a hope and a prayer of making it through the portal. Yeah, there's absolutely no way that's working.
An attempt was made, but Roshan now is back up, of course, and straight into the pit. It was a nice attempt, like you said. Like they did manage to kill off Ember earlier, the same way. This time around, the stuns also were overlapped a little bit, so the control wasn't necessarily perfect versus Ember. And he is also very much tankier. He's got the Shieldless, he's got the BKB. The Brawny enchantment as well on his Whisper of the Dread. Plus, like you said, on top of all of that, you have Hand of God to work with.
And high ground they go. They actually gave the Aegis over towards Amar. So they're going to let the Bristle do the siege instead of the Ursa. Be a little bit better of a hero to do so, with the banner dropped along with the Serpent Wards.
Ursa and Ember right now are literally one of the same. The same playstyle. Jump in, eliminate the backlines, maybe go for the TA. While Bristle can't kind of afford to sit up front. He's got 2 plate mills, one from the Lotus Orb and another one that he bought for, I believe, the AC, which is now done as well.
banner. I'll kill the banner off now. So we'll see if this high ground push gets a little bit more difficult for Falcons with the banner and wards gone. And they're just going to do the classic Falcons of choking them in.
It's just Pit of Malice. It's hard to push. They would definitely love to take the racks, but the downtime on Pit of Malice is at this point 2 seconds. Like, you have 2 seconds to play around. And that's the, without the ulti Pit of Malice, that is the normal one only.
Radiant's top tower.
The Bark won't have Fiend's Gate now for this fight. Need to try and clean up this bottom wave. They're also going to attempt to try and poke the Aegis away, but hits him with the Force.
They forced it top though, and now maybe they can go bottom, mid, sorry, not bottom. They forced the Pit of Malice top. A little bit of time at least for the mid lane to be pushed in. It's so annoying. Amar?
Fine. Who they found over the right side? Skeeter tried to find an angle for the initiation, but they're pump faking the terrorize. Not a perfect opportunity. Now Skeeter's going to be in. They've isolated the Tempo Assassin. Shirish is gone. No buyback. He bought out previously for the Daedalus, and also Lorinov is going to style on Y inside the fountain. A guaranteed 3v5. No tier 2s left standing as well, so this is... I mean, you're going to have to take one final stand here from Vici. They will not be able to make anything happen in the last full set of barracks, so they're going to be fighting up against Megas, and Amar doesn't want to leave just yet. Still plenty of time left to work with for the Aegis.
I don't know who you initiate on. Jakiro is up in 3, but TA is dead for 30 more seconds. Yeah, you can take down the Aegis, but this game is pretty much over. Storm.
Let's see if they can just buy enough time.
The Storm next to the fountain is strong.
Look at the first route. Oh, quick BKB from XM. It looked like Crip was charging up the Hex. Thought I saw the animation from it, but XM's going to be able to zip away. Did, of course, now use that protection, so he's not going to feel as safe in this upcoming fight. Has to play perfectly away from Crip, and meanwhile, just the Throne has got bigger problems. With no glyph available, we've got a couple of seconds left, and with the catapult along with the wards, it's going to be game. Falcons, they'll take it in the end. So a much more impressive performance for them, considering yesterday we saw them struggle versus Yandex. It's just game 1 though, but big difference from yesterday.
Say, yeah, because you have to pick these 4 position 4s that are just busted. If you don't, you're putting yourself like just in a bad game. But no, I think right now position 4 is very open. Planet and Crit tipping each other. I really think it's very it's a very easy patch to play almost any 4 besides Ruby.
Well then, like, again, I don't know. I want to, yeah, besides Ruby, I want to see more Grim then, because I feel like this hero has a nuke, so wave clear with stroke. You have a silence in fence. You have a stun in Inkswell. You have BKB piercing control in Soulbind. You have late game scaling potential versus Agi carries, in particular with Dark Portrait. Like, you're really good with a lot of initiating heroes as well. We've got to keep in mind with that meta with like the Inkswell where you could activate it. He did go for that facet this game, so I'm very intrigued on how the Grim's able to perform this game, and so maybe see some reasons as to why we're maybe not getting it as much.
Planet is a very good Grim player, right? So we might see we might see why it should be played a little bit more in this game.
Man, his innate sounds horrible though. Like, what is the ink trail? What is the point of it? What is this?
Oh, it's good. It's
so
good
useless.
because you see them. No. It's not just a trail on the ground. You see them through the fog.
Yeah, but it's okay.
But you can right someone behind the trees, basically.
Okay, okay. So it's got a little bit. I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, is it going to do that much inside the lane? But
it's good. It's not a bad.
Alright.
Like it's pretty good. Like you can look. It's already doing something on top.
yeah.
You know, like you can chase someone across the trees.
Yeah, cool. Nice innate, bro. Look at my foul play. You like being hexed every now and then? Like my chicken fingers. With the big serpent wards. Ah, Skeeter again. I see the triple branch that's locked, huh? We are
The locked branches, yeah. When you lock them, they give you 50% more stats.
50% more.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's true story, bro. Because they feel like you committed to them, you know.
All right.
It's the loyalty from the branches.
That's a loyalty bonus. Okay, okay. I'm very intrigued as well on this goddamn Pangoli hero. First time I'm seeing the new Pango in a competitive game. I know it actually got played yesterday. Maybe it was actually even Collapse that I think played it in the series on Spirit. So we'll see what the build is going to be. We've got Treads, Bracer, Diffusal currently queued up.
It's a cool hero still. I had a couple of games with him recently, and Pango actually did all right. I think that, yeah, it's still very playable. I think people have sort of forgotten that this hero is still all right. Like, the build is usually without the shield crash even. But, yeah, maybe on the offlane it's a bit different, and you might get it a bit earlier.
Already even seeing an adaptation for the Wind Ranger as well, having to go power shot in a lane like this. He's gone 2 points. What's going on here? Why 2 points power shot? I thought maybe one just because you wanted to get the range CS, but...
Yeah, I'm surprised as well, considering he's got tangled, right? Like, and he's not even getting the range CS with it, so... I'm also surprised, because usually how people play is you just tangle and then you right-click, and it kind of evens out. You get the same amount of damage that you would if you used power shot, if not even more.
Harassing power shot. MOUZ got double brace. He doesn't really care about this, so he's fine. Meanwhile, mid, it does seem like it's going okay for XM at the moment. In fact, it's even. So something that you mentioned, that Storm is going to have a little bit more of a favorable time. So XM can perform on the time. This is a very feast or famine type of hero. Like, you can do incredibly well. You can also struggle a lot. Snaking is going to be ran down. Planet kind of body blocks Bark a little bit, but it's not really going to be a huge problem. Skeeter, he'll be able to land a couple of races. Finds an extra one onto Planet. Is going to find first blood as well. But Bark, can he run away? Okay, can. Skeeter doesn't have any mana to continue with the chase. I thought with the raises onto the MOUZ, there might be a concern of his life. Because bottom, though, we also got another kill that's going on. So some action, much more in our laning phase compared to game one.
They have a very deep ward. You can see it right there in the lane. So they have a perfect read on when Muerta is leaving and going to stack. The moment Crit left, instantly they went on the Pangolier. Nicely done. And yeah, still no shield crash on Amar, by the way. He's saving a point. 3-0-1 so far. This is what I said. Usually they don't even get it. He probably will after dying there, I suppose. But let's see. Maybe he greeds out as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not entirely sure either. Don't even know what the build's going to be after the fuse, or if it's just the blink. If there's anything natural. I know we're getting a lot of utility off lanes at the moment, so we shall see. Can maybe check what Collapse actually did yesterday.
I think you just go for the standard build with the fusion. You don't have to wild out completely on the Pango. Like, this hero is picked mostly because of the Mars, right? Like, you have Rolling Thunder in the arena. You don't care about the setup that Mars can put up front, so... The itemization is, of course, relevant, but as long as you have that Rolling Thunder with maybe a blink down the line, I think you're fine.
Inside the river. Yeah, Falcons actually going to try and bring the fight to Vici. They were starting to move down bottom for their heroes. They're still running crit down, but they want the stacks instead. With the tree throw, they look for the deny. Doesn't actually get it though. Why is he able to get the kill before the Ancients, and they'll also steal the stack as well.
Thank you, crit. In the name of
very generous.
Yeah, leads them to the stacks as well. You know, this is the saddest part. Playing, they are setting up.
Is it gonna be enough with the triple raises? Oh, it just gets a spirit the last second. Maybe. Oh, he had a wand as well, actually.
Yeah.
Probably lives.
Like, two things that you have to buy versus SF in the lane: wand and the raindrop. Like, every single game. If you aren't, you're probably not going to survive like Buck just did. The rotating storm as well. Going up is here.
That they are. It's going to be an easy kill onto Planet, but let's see what the response is like from Vici. XM's a little bit too late. And Lorinov goes down to the south, and everyone else actually Delta splits to the north. So Skeeter and Snaking go hand in hand away. It is going to be two Wisdoms that favored dive. Falcons will lose Snaking by the looks of it. Continued to run back into the lane where XM was still stalking.
Mm-hmm. Still not worth it, right? Like, you traded two Wisdom Shrines for a position 5 kill. Tiny also wasn't in the lane for quite some time. So overall, a good situation for Falcons to be in. After all, these supports on Radiant, they do... Jakiro maybe not as much, but Grimstroke does need levels. I mean, this isn't a hero that plays well without them at all. Like, maybe 6 is not most valuable, but it is value.
Ooh, XM's actually going to run Snaking down. He's going to be pretty quick if he wants to get the kill, because I don't know if he's going to get away, though, afterwards. XM? Is that worth it?
It definitely isn't. The question is, like, would he survive if he just went back? He probably would have decided to go for the kill instead. Probably not worth it, of course. This is a hero, like you said, Feast or Famine. You really want to get the Blink Dagger online as soon as possible so that you can start making plays on the map. He's not going Brown Boots Blink, of course. He's doing the Phase Boots instead. So the Blink will be delayed no matter what he does on the map. But this allows him to play the map a little bit at least. Under vision, though, with this TP.
So further slowing down some of his farming speed. So far, no massive losers in regards to the lanes, though. Everyone's pretty happy in regards to the net worth. Amar had that early death, but it's pretty close towards the Wind Ranger's net worth. Double Bracer treads into the Diffusal. Do you feel like there's a side that has an easy time of taking these early objectives? It's probably Radiant, right, with the Jakiro before the level 6 is up for the the Shaman?
If by objectives you mean towers, then yes. If you mean Roche and Tormentor, I think it's actually Falcons. Okay. Maybe with a slight advantage. SF, Pango, you know, a bit more physical damage on them with the minus armor. They should probably have an easier time. Storm.
Oh, he actually zipped over the Avalanche. Lorinov instantly activates the haste, and now Amar's going to look to try and TP in as well. It's a pretty good timing out of Box, but if they got the damage on to prevent the second round of Ultimate, no, Amar's going to be able to get it off, and again, XM. His game will go from bad to worse now, and it's tiny back-to-back deaths from him and Amar. Gonna be a little bit cautious. Amar? There's a big question marks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Skeeter, thinking about a defensive Requiem for his support. The Deadshot's going to slow down the creep, though, so I'll continue running Shaman through.
A bit of a freebie thrown away there by the Pangolier. They probably could have taken the tiny kill and called it a day, but they go for more and they get punished. His Rolling Thunder was running out, by the way, anyway, so there was nothing more that he could do that far behind the enemy lines. Still no shield crash, level 7.
Dire's middle tower.
But yeah, to go back to the question in regards to objectives, do you feel like someone you actually want to see go for towers? Because we haven't seen really a group up around objectives in regards to towers. It's really been the power runes, or maybe these pickoffs that they're able to find across the map. Amar could have a back-to-back death here, so another one for the boys on Vici to be able to find. First real aggressive move from them. They've been able to invade into the jungle, secure the kill. They're happy with that. Planet's got his level 6 now.
Yeah, they're activating Shiro a little bit and trading his farm for Tiny's, just to make sure that Tiny can get a little bit more out of the map. So yeah, I guess this is the correct play. But when it comes to the objectives, yeah, I do think it's Vici Gaming, but they lost both Wisdom Shrines, and maybe because of that they're playing it a little bit slower. They're focusing on making stacks here and there instead of just making some more aggressive moves. A lot of stacks though, from the Grimstroke, from Jakiro, across the map.
Yeah, we'll see who's actually the one to farm the stacks. So playing Skeeter, Ambitious Requiem,
Zoning. The so-called zoning Requiem.
He went Mask of Madness.
This is the standard build. The more of a right-clicky Mask of Madness, Dragonlance, maybe a Manta, maybe straight up Pipe. This isn't your Kaya-Yasha Kiritage build.
I for some reason thought this still wasn't even standard. Well, he's having an exceptional time though on Skitter. He's also got a bunch of stacks back in the jungle that he'll miss. Oh, he got one of them himself. And yeah, you see over the triangle. I mean, it's just stacks galore. How many stacks has either side made, actually? Let's see.
Both of these teams really focusing on stacking.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Kind of cool to see. We haven't really seen this in a bit. Most teams are just too busy taking objectives and fighting, especially when you have Jakiro on your side. Blink on Tiny, by the way. Compliments of the stacks that Jakiro made for him, so he will have the blink now. And at 14, ready to maybe fight the Wisdom Shrine, by the way. 15 seconds away.
So there's not going to be a fight to be had. They won't sue for it. Falcons is going to... Oh, Snaking actually didn't go for the Wisdom. I thought he was going to edge close to try and pick it up. He would have actually got it in time. Buck was a little bit too far away, but be a 1-for-1 trade. Meanwhile, XM was able to get the shield rune as well. So thought with the past couple of deaths on XM2 that it would really hinder his farm, but that's not to be. Namar's actually going to be the one that finds the big ancient stack. So just a bit of a farm-orientated game over the past couple of minutes.
Yeah, they're moving top though. TP, Skitter. Oh, no way. The Avalanche doesn't tip him. And Shiro is a little bit too late to give vision. And the Avalanche was literally on the edge of SF. You saw that. That was so lucky. And also so well played by him to TP out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Close to big kill for Vici.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They'll get one at least. They'll be able to get the objective, but not the prize they wanted. Now they're actually going to bring some of their resources to the other side of the map where Falcons are currently set up. Got 3 heroes down by the bottom tier 1 tower. They've got a pretty nice deep lane ward as well, Bar. We're going to try and get the initiation. Planet's going to be there in time here with the Phantom's Embrace as well, so they should kill off a Mario Mim crit. He's stuck inside the wall as well, so it's not just going to be one. It'll be a second kill for Vici. So the past sequence of events could waste time.
And they get DSF on top. Yeah. Just everything is going well for them. These moves are very good, and Pangolier is truly struggling against Phantom's Embrace right now. It's like this one spell. Sure, it's also Bach setting things up, of course, but Phantom's Embrace just completely prevents him from rolling out or saving himself in any way.
Yeah, those are definitely moments you don't like as a player when you see you got 2 heroes dying down bottom, and all of a sudden your carry's just getting, you know, not solo killed, but he's getting killed 2v1. Yeah. So, I don't know. This is doesn't give a whole lot of confidence, and also you're losing more apparently. I mean, they are really struggling. They will try and strike back XM. The target of the Rolling Thunder. They don't have any extra cores down bottom at the moment here from Vici Gaming. They're even going to lose some more as well, with Snaking with a wraparound, finds an angle. The whole planet down. Bach tries to snipe the Pango. Will be able to do so. Lorenov has got the mana.
He does?
He does with the Soul Ring. But they're going to be able to pull him back in time for Snaking to close the distance. And with Skidder nearby, there's not going to be a question if the damage is lacking. So Falcons, they're going to be able to strike back in a pretty heavy way.
They gave them a lot of kills on this bot lane, but they also took everything back to this one fight. 4 kills. SF getting a big 6-kill streak from the Mars, netting himself 800 gold. Suddenly this SF is way back into the game. Again, XM starts things off very nicely, but this time around he doesn't get the pang. Like, they get the support, but they didn't get what they came for. If it's the other way around, if they kill the Pango but not Muerta, they probably can even fight after.
Might have to go back live here. Snaking. The Requiem's going to come through for the low ground. Lorenov with the zip over the top as well, but they're going to be careful now with the Soul Bind. It's not going to be too bad of a fight for Radiant if they have the damage, but they don't because Shiro's gone. Arena? Without the Wind Ranger, you've got some problems. It's not a bad arena. XM's going to have another round of spells shortly. The double kill secured here for the Tiny, but Bach will not be able to moonwalk away. And, I mean, we were farming for a couple of moments, but now all of a sudden, it is just chaos on the map.
Absolute chaos. Arcane Rune as well on Lorenov. Maybe a chance for him to do some extra damage. This time around, Bach, of course, comes in a little bit later, gets the arena nicely on the SF. Tiny, by the way, is doing a ton of work, but it's not followed. It's not followed up by anything. Not in this last fight, at least. Like, he finds the SF, he tosses him in a bad position, but he had to wait for a long time before support arrived.
I'm kind of impressed with his farm, to be honest, considering 3 deaths. Sometimes you can really see this Tiny take a pretty big hit in the net worth, but it's quite important the current position is in. Again, we mentioned multiple times this hero can really struggle depending on the game. So it seems like XM is going to have a Tiny that will scale relatively decently as we head to the mid to late game.
By the way, Grim did queue up the Agonists. So,
okay.
The idea is there eventually.
Oh. Whoa. What's going on here? Get the Inkswell over to watch Shiro. XM a little bit hesitant with the jump, and they've got a really good ward still if they want to actually stick around and fight, but it looks like they'll give this attempt up.
There's no smoke on... Oh, there is. It's just got used. Okay. Because they need to smoke, they need to defend the Tormentor. It's up in 10 seconds, but it looks like Vici Gaming are abandoning it once again. And Falcons want to take a fight instead. Maybe get this rune. Arcane Rune is up on Storm.
The fight breaks out at the moment. Bach is not currently with the team. Lorenov's going to zip over, but it's a zip straight on top of the shackle, but the chain control's going to be there. Lorenov!
Yep.
What was that? No respect for the He just tossed Skeeter right to them! Skeeter just got tossed into the middle. Oh, no way. The 6-man assistance from Vici Gaming.
You know when you want to zip in that way with Arcane Drone, like it's a good zip, but maybe press the BKB. I think, you know, if you manage to get in and press the BKB, then everything here is fine. Roshan absolutely helping out, of course. It's a lot of damage as well, but even without Rosh, that fight was a disaster. Rosh just punished them even further for what they did. Because look at this, like, he goes in, he vortexes, but he still keeps on trying to hit him before BKB. Nice little toss. That's funny. That's actually funny.
Oh, I wanted a better reaction out of Skeeter. Maybe when he dies. No, not too much from him, unfortunately.
That's Gaben right there, you know? It's like some games, he just wants to help out.
Yeah, I mean, questionable no BKB from Lorenov, unfortunately. Who knows how different that could have been. But hey, you got it up still for the next fight. Unfortunately, he did lose Tormentor. So that's something. Double Wisdom. It's going to be 1-for-1 from either side. They are playing towards bottom at the moment here from Falcons. Everyone making sure they're set up in a position. No, this is the next big objective on the map.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
How refreshing it kind of is as well, the difference from Xtreme compared to Vici. Xtreme plays super slow. We've covered multiple of their series so far in the groups, but no, Vici bring the fight to Falcons at the moment.
Yeah, they're a bit more willing to risk. Right? Like, they're not as risk adverse. They take fights. They stack and they farm, sure, but they also take a lot of fights. How's our boy Grim looking, by the way? He's got the point booster, 400 gold on top. I want to hype him up. He's gonna die, but I want to hype him up.
Let's go, Grim.
Let's go, Grim. You're getting
Didn't get lucky, unfortunately. He's got no greedy.
Yeah. He only needs... he only needs 3 more items. We're not gonna say that each one of those items costs 1,000, but only 3,000 more. Only 3 more items. That's all. That's all. That's all he needs. It's not a lot.
XM. Goes back. Finally opening with a jump, and it's a beautiful spear as well. They get the stun lock before the BKB once again onto Lorenov, so they lose the Aegis instantly. But can they take the fight on the second round here? It looks like the call is going to be to escape. No focus fire. No burst for another opportunity.
Lorenov has no faith in his BKB. He used it once. He knows it works. Like, he should be using it again after. But, of course, it's not only him. Shiro had fantastic shackle shots, like twice in a row now. Storm dies to the Wind Ranger damage and the catch. But yeah, gotta be less conservative with the BKB.
He's going to be kicking himself a little bit. He's still, with all that being said, is 8-1-2. So 15 galvanized stacks. He's incredibly farmed as well. And we're really set up for a hell of a mid to late game. We'll see how that fight broke out. XM starting... Now, if you can always get these starts where he tosses him onto MOUZ, you get a double spear like that, I mean, fights are going to continue to look a little bit easy for them.
Like, I know you just praised Storm, but Tiny XM very close to Shiva's, and when I say that, I mean it. He's got 2k gold on top of the whales, so he can get the plate mail if needed, or just buy out the recipe first. We'll see, but overall, it's a very good game so far from XM.
Bottom lane. Blinked in, and they've already been set up. He's turned the wrong direction as well, so doesn't have the bulwark, but XM to the rescue. So we got the avalanche to disrupt, and now they're just an all-out retreat. They will bail, and unfortunately, they're not going to be able to escape on some of their supports. Skeeter will live, but...
Blink out! Power shot! Penguin is in. Amar?
Amar? Okay, he's got roll up.
That's... yeah. That's brave right there. That's some Giga Chat play to protecting private snaking with the Pangolier. Good plays. I mean, good in the end because he doesn't die, of course. If he died, we'd call it crazy play.
When do we feel like SF is going to reach that point where we see so many SF games where it's kind of just the best carry?
Silver Edge is next. After that, it's Daedalus most likely. Maybe in this game MKB and he's ready to fight. Like this item plus the next one. And he's literally a beast.
Okay.
Which coincides with a lot of items on Wind Ranger, of course. So it's not going to be easy. But they won't be able to man-fight him the moment he gets the news to. It's probably going to be MKB, I suppose, after Shikiro.
It's actually a free kill considering no one's currently playing behind him.
They know where they're coming from.
Exact drawing. Snake King's already dropped the ward up on the high ground. Bach, he's going to ski, so he's going to step over on the outskirts of that vision. Skeeter, oh my god, XM put directly exactly where Skeeter is, and they're gonna have to damage thanks to the focus fire. What a read from XM! Dude, his tiny has been exceptional this game.
He's soloing them right now. They're waiting on the high ground. 3 against 4.
XM's got Children and BKB. Be able to run into Pango, of course, a mark. Keep in mind, again, with that roll-up, makes it pretty messy. What a shackles from Shiro. Speed to follow up. They're gonna have a perfect use of the chain control. Vici Gaming. Man, the team fight synchronicity just looks so crisp from them.
I mean, game number 1, sure, whatever. They kind of threw it. Game number 2, they're playing out of their minds, like at every point in the game. This is just beautiful. And keep in mind that Vici Gaming, they were smoked behind and they were heading towards Falcons. But Falcons knew. That's why they were retreating. That's why Skitter is hiding here. And still, even with hiding, he dies. XM finds the right spot to blink. And it's like these margins are so small. I don't know if you're seeing this, but if Muerta is literally a little bit to the right, just a tiny little bit, Tiny breaks the smoke and sees her, and because of that, he probably thinks that the smoke is broken by Muerta, so he doesn't blink back in pursuit of SF. But he doesn't see anyone when the smoke breaks. Like, smoke breaks on 1,000, 1,100, I think, range, and your night vision is way lower than that, so he blinks behind and finds the SF. It's like... cool place, cool place.
So now as we look towards the upcoming fights, how does it actually shape up for Shiro in particular? Because I feel like got a glimpse of what could happen where Vici can just commit on the SF and you can run him down with focus fire. Is that actually the call from Shiro? Should he always be doing that? Speaking of that, mid lane, XM gets a kill on the crit.
At this point, they're just getting kills left, right, and center. What Shiro does is argue. It's not irrelevant. It's just like he probably has options. Let's put it that way. Whoever gets shackled, I think he can go on, use his tangled to get that extra damage and go ham. He will have Aghanim's and 200 gold.
So the reason why I asked this is because you've been mentioning a lot about the SF really doesn't like heroes being on top of it. That's mainly melee heroes, I understand. The Wind Ranger seems like in this interesting way could almost act as some pseudo melee hero just because you can't right click with the Wind Run and you're kind of winning the man fight. That's why I'm suggesting.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if you find the SF isolated, you can, especially because he has a BKB, right, on Wind Ranger. So he can basically pop the BKB Wind Run and stick on top of SF even through Requiem, bring him down. Like, there is no satanic, nothing like that allows SF to fight. And I feel like he's going for the Silver Edge build. It's
in the lane once again. XM gonna find the initiation. Such an easy kill. So much nuke with the Shivas and any extra spells that are used from afar.
Yeah, Crit has been dying quite a lot.
They're actually stalking them. Hang on a second. Shiro with the freshly completed scepter as well. Now, firstly, finally, they'll miss out on some of their spells. So Mars going to be able to react in time. Over the left, they've also caught Skeeter as well. So the BKB is going to be activated defensively. We'll try and charge up the Requiem, which will grant them a kill over towards the Grimstroke. But can they take a prolonged team fight? Skeeter's going to duck away out of the cover of the Shadow Blade. He'll go as far to the west as he can. It seems like XM kind of has an idea. Shiro might as well. Hang on a second. Shiro, is he going to see him?
They got him.
Oh, they got him. Oh my lord, Skeeter almost. I mean, where else could you go, really? There's not many more opportunities. And Bach was close to getting the spear as well in the storm in the mid lane.
Yeah, they just didn't have the a full damage on to the Wind Ranger, because if you looked at that fight from this way, Pango gets initiated on, they counterplay on the Wind Ranger, she gets caught, by the way, they have a Hex on Storm, they have a full-on Shackles from the Shadow Shaman. But SF isn't there, he's using Requiem on a Grimstroke. While the Grimstroke is dying, the rest of your team is as well on the other side, so it was just a positioning problem, this fight. I feel like if you catch the Wind Ranger, she needs to die. That hero is very squishy when controlled. But they just don't have the items and the firepower. And this Silver Edge, I was just leading to it. Like, he went for Silver Edge, which is what every SF does and probably should do. It's a very strong item. But it does delay the MKB. So if you're not killing Shiro in Requiem, you're probably not killing him at all, because you will be missing every right click.
So we're going to keep in mind, regardless, he even has that 35% reduction to physical damage with the Scepter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how close did we get? Oh, 0.1, I think. 0.1. Are you serious? There we go. That's a better reaction than compared to Roche.
the face palm as well after.
Bro, it was 0.5. Oh, yeah, hang on. What's going on here down bottom? Shiro, early BKB. They're going to toss the Shaman over towards the right side. Skeeter will be able to charge up the Requiem. A bunch of chaos currently going on. Who's it going to favor in the end? Falcons. Do they call the retreat? Amar. When the Rolling Thunder expires, they're going to be relying on Law enough to get the zip in the middle. He's got the Arcane Rune for the team fight. Amar's still alive. A big shield crash from Amar gives him the health, but XM slips away. They're unable to secure the kill. And now maybe Vici can go back in. Shiro will clean up crit. A 2-for-1 in the end.
Oh, dude, that arena just saves XM. The right clicks were literally in the air, flying through the arena, but Bach with the perfect execution there to save his mid laner. Like, this is still like 7k lead for Vici Gaming. It's a quite good spot to be in. Win probability though is not super convinced. DOTA plus 58-42, especially if this rush is given away. Wait, it's gonna roar.
Wow.
It will roar. You have to contest this. Can they get there on time?
Yeah, looks like the Skid is going to call it quits.
Yeah, they just don't hit that hard. Amar is still sticking about.
They have a high ground wall that should not be there still. Bach couldn't get initiated with a fault as well for the sport, so they're going to be able to keep Bach alive. The XM tries to rescue him with the avalanche bar. Pops a BKB. Now they've got the Hex over towards the left side as well. They're going to be able to isolate the Storm Fruit. He's gone once again, Lorinov. Unable to use his magic immunity.
Here comes the beast.
And there's a couple of too many deaths for him and Crit. Well, unfortunately, he's going to have to go up against the Dark Portrait. They do kill XM, but this is a consolation prize at best.
Dude, this Dark Portrait of SF actually looks badass. It looks better than the hero itself. Blacked out the way it is. But this initiation, this whole play from Falcons where they smoke up on the high ground and go in, their BKBs were still on cooldown from the last fight. But I guess they were counting on, okay, our BKBs are done, but so are theirs, so we can go in. In the end, it really doesn't pay off.
Hang on, Amar, you're going for this extra wave, but he's got roll up, no TP. He's going to be able to blink, man. Bark was super. Does he go random speed? Guessed wrong.
Guess left or right, you know, like 50-50 right there. 1-3 on the left, 1 on the right. Doesn't catch him. Still up. This is probably the best game that we have had in a while. I know it's wonky, it's crazy, but it's super action-packed. We had a lot of snooze fests recently.
Yeah, I hope this game doesn't end, to be honest, or we go longer. I kind of want, I ain't gonna lie, I want Falcons to win this next fight. Like, where we could be brewing for a super entertaining game.
It all comes down to the
Already there at
MKB
the
and
moment.
how fast he's going to get it. Because with the MKB, they actually have some damage coming out of the SF. Without it, it's really difficult. Even with it versus the arena, it's not that easy, but it's doable.
How do you ideally play the map for Falcons now? Because the call is going to be for them to just avoid and split push. How do you do that with their heroes? Where do you set up everyone?
I mean, you see the way that they're playing. This is basically it. The only thing is, like, can you do this for a prolonged period of time? Because you are playing versus a Tiny, you're playing versus a Mars with a Hex. It's even Wind Ranger, you know, with Wind Run is annoying because she can scout you. At least they do have the gem on Storm, so it's one thing that allows him to farm on his own and skip waves a little bit.
Dire's middle tower.
They're putting in high ground. And they're just going to blind jump as well. Well, actually, do you have a ward? Apologies. So they knew exactly that someone was there. And no one's playing behind Crit. He doesn't have a buyback. So 50 seconds where it's going to be 4v5. This high ground will be under siege.
They probably have to go back. The wards are taking the tier 2 down bottom. So it's going to be a trade, but it's not a good trade. They need to head back and defend their throne. There will be no Dark Portrait. There will be in 15 seconds. No, not the longest.
They did the MKB too.
Top barracks are under attack.
No Muerta though.
It's the important thing.
Radiant's bottom tower is
They're
under
going to have to do it 4v5, but we'll see how much this MKB can carry them through the team fight. Losing their base bar. Pops the Lincolns early. Amar with the Rolling Thunder as well to try and create some chaos. They're going to try and do their best with the Aegis. They won't be able to do so without committing too heavily. Skeeter's going to do his best to get on top of the BKB. Charge up with the Requiem, but the damage is just not enough. It wasn't perfect for timing. Have they still got what it takes to kill off Shiro, who's slipping away? They don't have the damage. Shiro's going to be able to live. It was an all-or-nothing play. A last-ditched attempt to hold the base, but XM's going to toss more back. He's given a prize on the silver platter, and now Grimstroke will be ran down as well. Apologies, the crit Muerta is the one that's ran down in the end. It's a double kill for XM. Two heroes are going to buy back, but
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
I don't know.
They have the buybacks, but I don't know if they have what it takes to defend this game any longer. Like, Throne is the next in line, it seems like, for Vici Gaming. They don't have the tier 2 mid or bottom, so they can't really do anything else. Pango, by the way, TPing back. Okay, he's back to base.
Radiant's bottom
That
tower
last fight was, I mean, you could see the idea of Falcons. Like, you could see it. It was a very risky idea. I think not everything went wrong that could go wrong, right? You get the initial kill, but first the Requiem isn't timed perfectly versus the Aegis. And second, even though he had BKB, he was hitting into the arena. Hold that thought. Not gonna catch anyone for now. I think as Shiro was running away, the arena, SF was sitting kind of on top of it. So the first 2-3 hits, I think, got blocked. Nothing went through. I wonder if just taking the first life of Wind Ranger was good enough and then backing off. Maybe they could have sacked one side and continued playing. They still had tier 2s. They're not that kind of a team this tournament. They're very all in.
Definitely could have been an interesting call though, but nonetheless, they put themselves in this position. You just got a range barracks left standing mid. You got a tier 2 tower down bottom as well. They are coming out of the base as well. Snaking's trying to call some of his forces down, and Mars also listening, but because they have this lane ward that they want to fight with, but it doesn't seem like they're on the same page, or just want to do some different things instead. Lose the ward.
This refresher Hex,
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
it's just A on disc on the Tiny. You realistically have one target that you can go on, and that's the Wind Ranger. Like,
Oh, nice scan. They scanned up the high ground to XM. He's just going to blindly blink. And again, what are they? Are they trying to set something up? But it's just snaking and Amal. Look at the map. Lorinov is at the secret shop on the other side. Skeeter's not even back as well, so even if you found someone, like, what was going to happen?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top
SF TPing in, but also very deep. They have a gem, right?
The Rolling Thunder. But once again, with the arena just used defensively, Skeeter's going to charge up the Red Queen, but what's it going to do? Shiro can now turn second use of the arena, and this one is all done and dusted. It was an action-packed one. They've got a couple of buybacks, but importantly, without the SF, it's going to be problematic for the defense. They do hold XM inside the base, but there is 0 damage. XM's even got an A on disc as well.
Yeah, GG is called in the end. Fun game, I gotta admit, like a very fun game where Falcons, I wouldn't say they threw it because they never really had it complete. Eventually in the game, it all depends on how the game goes and what the net for difference is, but Timbersaw is made to just cut trees and deal damage, and he's not all out of trees, but he can deal damage anyway.
So how do we feel about this game as a whole? Do we believe that Falcons are on a pretty big timer here, where their ability to compete late versus Vici is going to be limited with their heroes?
Well, Necro as a position 1 is not the most popular hero, and one of the weaknesses that this hero has always had is like how he scales when he plays 1. But I think in this kind of a game, your Bristleback can take over. And we're going back to the good old Falcons, right? In which Skitter is more or less just doing Skitter things. Like he did in other teams before. His focus should be to just create space, soak up the damage, and Amar and Storm Spirit can be like the ultimate win condition. They can be the ones that scale. Do they scale better than Terrorblade? I don't think so, one-on-one. But when you combine all 3 cores, it could happen.
I got a bunch of harass on the planet though already to start, so he'll eat through a bunch of his tangos. Regards to the bounties, it's going to be a 2 for 2, so nothing crazy. Let's see once again how this mid battle is going to go between XM and Lorinov. Was pretty even, right? Last game, if I remember correctly, off the back of the lane.
It truly was. I'm mostly worried about top lane and how much Timber and Coddle will be pressured, because this looks like a terrible lane for Coddle Timber. The silver lining, of course, is Keeper of the Light buys boots, stacks everything up. Like, you have a ton of stacks very early on for Timber to take, so you don't really have to play the lane all too much. And also Necro pushes in a lot. If he's forced to use his death pulse, he usually kills his creeps, damage is yours, so you tend to find farm under the tower.
What do we want to build as well for Skeeter in a game like this? I know earlier we had the Arrow playing the Necro. He went, I think he went first item Lotus, and I have to imagine that the build's a bit different for the carry Necrophos. Is it just a Radiance, or does the TB kind of make you think twice?
Yeah, Radiance is the build from Necro, even against Reflection, even against TB. I think if you're playing carry Necro, you are going for a more greedier build. It doesn't have to be though, because I have seen a couple of builds where you can play around just massing up HP and buying Aghanims eventually, having some regen reflected onto the enemy team with something like a heart. But Radiance usually is the play. It just helps you farm a lot as well.
Definitely, nonetheless, an interesting draft that Falcons have concocted up here, considering this is again a game 3 decider. You want a tournament lives on the line, your potential lineup that might have some the question marks on the scaling. A lot of that's going to come down to, like you said, Lorinov along with the Bristle and how their game's going to go. Currently, everyone pretty happy in regards to the lanes. Of course, Timber maybe the less so, but just specifically the Falcons heroes are doing good.
And the thing is, like, it's not only the cores that are going to be doing well in this kind of a game, I think it's the Chen too for Falcons, and that might be a bit of a difference maker because he's basically free to do whatever. At some point, Necro can be left alone versus Timber and Coddle. Not really a lot of pressure between these two, especially when Necro has a good start. Like, you can't really control him. Maybe some rotations that can happen from the Jakiro can change that, but then again, you don't really want to leave the Terrorblade as well. We'll see. I think we're in for a fun game. Falcons, not necessarily your most standard draft from them, but this is a Falcon style.
Do you think jump bottom crit maybe? Yeah, but another round of the Metamorphosis here. It does look like Crit's going to give up first blood. He'll try and utilize the innate. Unfortunately, that's going to be enough. And now Amar getting a decent amount of chip damage into Shiro, but Shiro's going to be able to back away thanks to the slow from the dual breath.
Dual breath was saved, by the way. White wasn't using it. Amar, yeah.
Hang on a second. Yeah, Shiro's doing a really good job to play his distance and actually just lets Y finish the kill. So, double down bot, massive value out of the meta.
Absolutely. Most teams just try to not fight the meta, especially the level 2 meta, but they went for it. They went for the Terrorblade kill and paid the price in the end. Definitely doesn't work out well for them. Planet is just trying to play the equilibrium game here, trying his best to get some farm towards the Timber, who's also pulling behind the tier 2 even, by the way. He pulled all around the triangle. Planet, it looks very dead.
Oh, what beautiful blocks.
Yeah. That was actually super well played by Snaking. Coddle, as a hero, you can almost never kill him because of his movement speed. Like, he has, I think, 315 base, but it's not only about the base movement speed, it's about the boots that he always buys. Like Tranquils and just brown boots are the first item that he usually goes for. Queuing up Bearing, by the way, very interesting. Boots of Bearing. I have to admit I was not expecting that as the first item at least.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Does he feel like a Spirit Vessel comes out too late for him? Considering you're probably going to go for an early Dispel and Bristle's already got a Lotus queued up, so...
I honestly thought it's going to be a Holy Locket. Like, Vessel is also good, but a little bit, like you said, greedy, and it comes out a bit late on a support, but I expected the Holy Locket. Like, Holy Locket always has value on this guy. It's the GH build as well, like, he always goes for it. I love it as well. But okay. Boots of Bearing are queued up for now. Maybe he changes his mind.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We're getting close to the level 6 being up as well for Skeeter, so this top lane's going to start to look a little bit scary for Bart. Yeah, he might indeed do that. Even bottom as well, we've got to kill Shiro.
Top tower is under attack.
Third meta, another kill, so he's really making great usage out of every time that this extra damage spike is up. But we're going to start to see some problems with the Chen getting active here. We saw him pressuring mid. Now he's going to be able to move over towards top as well. And we've got the Wisdom up in about 15 seconds too. So Radiant need to decide how many resources they want to bring to the area. And well, it looks like it's a lot.
It's so dangerous though, versus the Necro. And the Chen, maybe not so dangerous.
Where's your wisdom? Psst, 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 your wisdom.
He's fine, he's fine.
Yeah,
Blinding Light.
Planet was here. I honestly didn't see Planet, to be honest.
They played this well. They played this well, getting the kill on Chen. Maybe if a couple of extra heroes came from Falcons, they could have contested that, but they were too far. I love... do you know, like, Shiro, when he came into the scene, he was considered like a mini Ame. Like, always playing heroes that Ame was playing. And now Terrorblade as well. Like, Xtreme, they played Terrorblade yesterday. These guys played today as well, afterwards. The hero that is kinda dead for most teams.
Oh, let's see if Shiro's going to be able to dodge the gank. He's got to level up in Sunder, but yeah, no, absolutely not going to happen. They'll make sure they chain control him perfectly. Now, Radiant do even TPX him down bottom as well, so it's going to make it even more awkward, the fact that the Tiny wastes his teleport.
If he TP'd earlier and used Avalanche, I think the idea was buy enough time for Sunder, but of course, did not happen. Planet really tried to save that one for Tiny.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Can Sherry be bottom? They are still here on Falcons. No one has revealed on the other side of the map, and Skitter's actually got a Reaper Scythe as well ready to go, so they're going to have some problems to try and keep Shiro alive. There's, oh, what a timing of the Sunder! Oh, Shiro, he's still going to die in the end, but maybe there's some turn potential. Because Skitter doesn't have that much health at the moment. Bark's going to try and TP in here. XM will also come shortly, but okay, it doesn't matter. Cool Sunder, no turn.
Yeah, it's always the same with Necro. I loved your phrasing. He doesn't have a lot of HP at the moment, but it's like Necro. You pop your Ghost Shroud, or even without this Ghost Shroud, that pulse just constantly healing you is... it's always a bait. It's like when you're playing versus Huskar and you think you've got him, but he just heals up. This hero is a bait.
Big odds favoring Falcons at the moment, god damn. We're going to see the stacks are starting to be invaded as well, with the big advantage that you have with the Timber to try and enable some of your heroes. And they've already got a deep Absorb Ward down that's been here for quite some time. There's already half duration left as well. I think maybe low enough placed it when he was moving over for the Wisdom. So we will have a fight for this Ancient stack. It's going to be even easier with the tier 1 dying top already. Falcons, everything is clicking for them so far.
Yeah, just absolutely taking over the map, playing off of the strength of the Necro, really, yeah.
With the Mar being surrounded with 4 heroes, should be able to get the kill, but of course the question is what's happening on the other side. They are losing the stack, so this is the price they have to pay for it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
These stacks were kind of important, not only for the Timber, but for the Coddle too, right? Like getting him back a bit into the game. His build is also the skill build. It's kind of cool. I'm always tempted to go for this, but I never do it. Like 1-1-3. Because whenever you're playing Coddle as a support, it really feels like Chakra Magic is the most important skill to. And he is going Holy Locket. He just switched it up. As I'm holding my mouse over him, he switches it up. It's such a better Holy Locket game than the drums. Another thing that made this hero viable, by the way, was the buff to Blinding Light. It's not a lot, but I feel like you could justify just taking Blinding Light level 1 now.
Yeah.
It just made him a lot better in the lane. He's still not a great laner, far from it, but it's playable now.
Yeah. Gonna see a smoke to top lane. An attempt at the Skeeter's life. They'll pop out. If they got the nuke before the sustain comes out, they absolutely do.
It's the dangers of going Radiance, right? Like if he's going for something a bit more defensive, like they did in the last Necro game, Batboom did, Nero did, oh, of course then this kind of a play probably doesn't net you as easy of a kill, but when you're rushing Radiance, you have no stats. You're sitting on 1000 HP on Necro. You have more aggressive potential and more farming potential, of course, but also very easily killed.
An important kill for them to find while he's working on that Radiance, like you're saying, just utilizing some of the weaknesses with this build. Because this game, in regards to the early phase, could have gotten out of control pretty quickly with the Chen lineup. But we are still at the teetering on the edge of that being a potential. Could have helped if you were able to get the regen onto Lorinov. He's not going to have this rune, unfortunately, to work with. Speaking of the other core as well from Falcons, Amar's going to go back and start to farm up the Ancient stack. We're getting close towards his Lotus.
It's such a good Lotus game as well, right? Like, not just for himself, but for the Necro that he's playing with. There's not too many things that you have to worry about, though. It's not like they have an abundance of silences, like, or catch in general. It's just the Tiny and the Solar Bind that is annoying. And of course the Sunder, right? That you can maybe escape by lotusing yourself.
A little bit of a break in the action though. Just giving Tiny enough time to be able to complete his farm. This next wave down bottom will get him the blink. Are we looking on Shearer as well? Like I mentioned, we saw Arme in one of the games we covered of the TB yesterday, was able to get the victory for Xtreme off the back of his hero, but that was at the later stages, so we're going to have to see if he can really get there. And he's farming up a decent amount at the moment, but some time.
Yeah, his build will be... I think his build needs to be a bit different than Ame's, and I don't think this is a game in which Terrorblade can hold that thought. Bottom lane, Shadow Shaman. Yeah.
Reveal of the blink.
But yeah, I think he needs to address the Necro somehow. And what way it's going to be, I'm not really sure, or if he'll address it at all. Chen as well. That's the Holy Locket now on Coral. So you have some sustain in these upcoming fights. It can surprise teams sometimes, you know, just how much heal Coral does, and then maybe the... just follow the Reaper Sight. Follow the Reaper Sight and how Coral answers it. They have the first tool against it. Do they have Glimmer? Not yet. Jakiro is getting there, but these two items are basically your answer to the Reaper Sight and Necro. If you combine them properly, the heroes on Radiant should not be dying.
Falcon's going to try and slow down Shiro's game. They're currently on the market, at least in regards to where they're looking to try and go over the smoke. Maybe thinking it's a little bit too deep, and now Shiro will even...
Dude, he read that so well.
Great positioning.
Yeah, he's close enough to break the smoke, but he's still behind the illusions and not far with this hero.
The Necro, they're actually going to be able to blow up. Dude, XM is making so much work with this blink. I mean, it's just past maybe just even 2 minutes. 3 big kills, and now the Necro even more so.
Same plays, same kill, same heroes. Taking down Necro. It's
going to reveal his own blink as well. Phase to try and get out of the wards. Ice Path will come through, but XM's going to be held too long. They're going to try and TP out of the Jakiro, and Lorinov won't be able to find him in time. So, speaking the praises of XM, he does get slowed down now.
Nice little counter kill, but it was overdue. They had to punish these plays on the Necro. After all, Skitter is not playing with any sort of a defensive tool, so he needs as much assistance as possible early on.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I believe it's only 1,000, but does feel like Falcons have hit a lot of big item timings. Kept his Radiance for a while, Lorinov with the Kyron Sun. Jamar's positioning far more aggressively as well. I mean, you really look at everyone and how they're positioning Lorinov. Is he going to be able to get a solo kill onto Planet thanks to the shield rune? A bunch more health will come back, and Lorinov is just trying to force some reactions.
Yeah, heals a bit too much. Usually you can get a kill on Coral. He's going Orchid next, by the way, to help out with the catch versus Storm. Even versus Necro, it's not bad. You did speak about the items, but you mentioned only the cores of Falcons. If you look at the Shadow Shaman with the Blink and the Chen with the mech, like, you see that they have a lot of utility across the board. Chen going for Pipe basically allows Bristle to go for a greedier build as well. So the Pipe next on Chen, maybe a smoke. It seems like they will be making a move with Storm very soon.
Yeah, Radiant were also trying to make a move down bottom. I'm not exactly sure if the ward dies ward inside the jungle actually saw a couple of heroes because Skeeter started to leave the lane, so wasn't caught. They'll get a glimpse of a couple of supports moving pretty shortly in this area anyway, so I've got good information to work with on Falcons. Let's see what they want to do with this though. A Roche fight it'll be.
If there is a fight, right? But they were missing from the map for so long. They should have an idea, and they have Terrorblade to check with an illusion if needed. It's a bit too late though.
Meanwhile, they've got to jump as well. Crit's going to be able to find why. They'll just sacrifice the Jakiro, giving a freebie over. Lorenov's got an Arcane as well with the Aegis, so this next team fight really will heavily favor Falcons, and we might see them try and force the issue as well. Although with that being said, you might consider about waiting. Don't force a fight before the Tormentor is available.
Tiny and Timber down bottom. Coral as well connecting, but they have a ward. Like, this is every single move right now is red. They know exactly what's going on. Storm's TPing because of it. There's no...
Yeah, so Skeeter's going to bait. They're going to toss him back to the nuke potential. He gets a ghost shot off and a bunch of heal as well, but it's not going to be enough by the looks of it.
Dead.
And what a toss, man. Slowing down Crit and snaking on top of the Macropire. This is just reminiscent of the spellcasting we saw from Vici in that second game. XM's Tiny. Is there a mid laner better than him on the Tiny at the moment? Like, dude.
Just beautiful. Absolutely. You know what's even more impressive is the fact that Falcons knew exactly what was coming. They were literally baiting on the Necro. They set him up, but they were setting the Necro up instead. He's the one that dies. Nice toss back under the trees, by the way, so it's the Timber as well. Being in the right position to get Max out of the Whirling Death, but Jakiro dealing so much damage to the supports. Look at the crit and snaking, by the way. While Necro is dying, they're ice batted and macro fired, and then on toss on top of them. They literally died as collateral. Like, they died to some damage that wasn't even necessary aimed for them. It was all for the Necro. They were just holding hands while the world was burning around them.
They're still going to try and force a team fight. Lorenov actually zipped directly on top of them. Now, they might be able to get a free kill with the Aegis. Absolutely, they will. What's the call now? How are they going to reevaluate? They'll drop the ice bar from the chain control. Needs to be perfect, and it is. Now, you use Ghost Trap pretty early on. They've got the side. The sustain's going to be enough to get Bark alive, and this really should all be Radiant's team fight, but Shiro's stuck inside the wards. Once he's going to be able to pop out, it is disastrous for Falcons. And he stuns. The damage is almost enough, but we're getting to some dangerous territory for Falcons. This is not a lineup that is going to scale too well versus Vici, and they are already struggling in the team fights.
Yeah, I think these last two team fights were crucial for Falcons to do better in, and they didn't. Like, twice in a row. One thing that they are missing is, like, they're missing any defensive tools on Necro. And because of him not having any defensive tools, it's really difficult to stand up front. Instead, someone else has to do it in this situation. Storm jumps in, he gets taken down. He also doesn't have a BKB of his own to work with. They have a Lotus on the Bristle, but it's not enough, or it's a little bit too late. And look, Necro died 3 times. He died 3 times, and it slowed them down. And it's all fights that Falcons kind of knew were coming, but they still allowed it to happen, thinking that they're stronger. I really feel that they overestimated the sustain that Ghost Shroud plus Chen ult brings. It's a lot. Like, he literally heals the full HP, but Vici Gaming don't care. They kill you through it anyway.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's middle
Big
tower
fights and
is
big
under
W's
attack.
from TB and the boys. By the way, I was waiting to see what Shiro buys, if he's willing to maybe get an earlier BKB, but with the game going this well, he's not straying away from the standard TB. Manta D-Land straight up into the Skadi. Butterfly probably next, if not the BKB, we'll see.
And there's a Scepter now as well from Bach. How's this ready to work with? They have an idea of what's going on now. Maybe they can bait Skeeter this time closer to the objective. They need more people here, though. They knew, they saw. They had this high ground ward at the triangle, but maybe anticipating them to go for a different direction in the smoke instead. But these are too many deaths that we're seeing on the Necro.
Way too many. 4 deaths now for a hero that's supposed to be crushing the early game and just dominating with a network advantage. That's just not the case, and at this point you could already argue that the pick of Necro is not doing what it was supposed to be doing. Unless they have like some grand idea of a late game Necro, right now it's just, yeah, it's not working out. Another smoke. Storm has a BKB.
Middle tower is under attack.
Okay, they might get a glimpse, and yeah, they will. He's going to stick around to pick up the Watcher, so they'll find why. This is to support to try and stop some of the momentum that's being going to build here pretty heavily for the boys on Vici.
There's a pipe, full pipe on Planet, by the way, so not only the Holy Locket and the Glimmer Cape from him and Jakiro that worked so well in unison to save Timber, now you have a pipe that you have to chew through, and your damage is, it's not all magical, of course, you have some mixed damage, you have mostly physical from the Bristle, but the real damage that was being applied in these fights was the one from Storm and Necro, and now it's mitigated too. Skadi up in about 1,000 gold on the Turboblade. Keep in mind, spamming Illuminate on him does reduce meta as well, like the cooldown, so...
Yeah.
Meta will have a little bit of a shorter cooldown this game.
How different do you feel like these fights are going to look now, though? Because Falcons are also getting some big items. Tanking's very close to pipe, of 600 gold. You got BKB 500 away from Skeeter, and then double BKB still yet to be used from Amar and Loranov.
I think the fights so far were not because of the items, they were because of the way they were set up. I think Falcons overestimated the strength of Necro. If he gets initiated the same way he was initiated up to this point, he dies, even with the BKB, because he doesn't get to press a button. They have more than enough control. And they need some Lotus on him. They need something around to help him survive so that he can press the BKB and Ghost Shroud and heal up.
Random tips. I think Shiro and Amar pass each other at the portal. I thought I got a glimpse of. I love just why just tips as well. It's like, why not? Who we dipping, lads?
Joins in on the fun.
Yeah. Watch is gonna lose his core from Shiro. Right, you just go to the secret shop. Fight himself. Good lane, XM. Saw a Storm Spirit randomly zipping in and a free kill to crit as well by the looks of it. And Dire are really in a position, at least they're actually going to be able to get them out with the use of the Hand of God, but Skeeter went in. So Skeeter's going to try and force the issue, and the rest of Dire's starting to come over as well, but it's a super early BKB. Is he going to have problems now for the second half of this team fight? Bark's going to try and charge him down with the use of the reactive armor, so he's protected for the moment. Falcons need to call it quits.
Keep in mind that the meta was used as well, so it's not really the optimal fight for Vici Gaming. They used the meta for the tier 2 down bottom, so you cannot really use it that easily for the upcoming fight. Of course, the cooldown once again will be reduced. Coddle with the spam does help out. 40 seconds, 34 seconds.
Man, so stupid actually. Yeah.
It's one of the best heroes that you can use your Illuminate on. Because his ulti is basically not his last spell.
Shiro, they're going to avoid him, go for Planet instead. That's not too bad of a jump, and they're going to do just that. They have the Ice Part to be able to cancel the shackles. He does get the Glimmer Cape off, though. And Shiro's waiting. Meta's up in 5 seconds. A long zip in from Loranov. Meanwhile, XM's creating chaos in the backline as well. So both supports are going to die to start the team fight. And the call from Falcons to avoid the metamorphosis with the BKBs from Amar. Maybe a bit unnecessarily. He might have escaped, but still nonetheless, he wanted to confirm this.
They might still go on him though.
Amar.
BKB now.
That they will. Gonna toss him back towards Buck. Man, look at the damage coming through for the Timber. Amar's just gone. And what do you know? Roche is up in a couple seconds as well. 60. Without your Bristol back, this should be guaranteed for Vici.
They went out. They went out. Shakiro might go back in to check.
Keep an illusion. What are we doing? My Shiro.
Why?
Dire are scanning.
They're gonna go in. They're gonna check the rune and now go in. Someone will. They were just securing the rune. Now you go into the pit. You see that it's up. Should be taking this Roche fight. There is a ward. Snaking does know. There's no Bristle for 30 and taking this fight is really damn difficult. I mean, you were afraid of the damage, right? Like damage issues maybe, but you can see just how much Timber is able to do. Versus, specifically versus Bristle, right? A hero that usually feels unkillable. Timber Saw is the tank breaker.
Oh, almost actually able to time it, but has to use a PKB now as well. I don't know if they saw, to be honest.
There is no other way to... they probably did, because there is no other way to do it. You're playing versus Jakiro. The ice path goes always over the dying Roche. So if you want to snatch it... And you can fly over, but it's super risky.
I know, maybe I blinked the wrong time. I thought I saw him BKB like when he was TPing out, not when he was like in the pit. That's why I said that.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Like, you can still fly over all the way, but if you want to go back in or something... in any case, you need to defend now, somehow, without the BKB. The tier 3 is being mauled on with the banner as well.
Amar did cut mid, but they need a way to drag the creeps off the banner. Rooted up at the moment, eyes on XM, or more importantly, the wraparound. Look at Amar's current position. They're losing their base though, so they're not going to try and force a fight at the moment. Maybe they're waiting for them to disengage. Barnold will give them the information, but XM's going to be able to get the jump in with the toss. The damage, it's just too much! It's just too much at this stage of the game, and they're all just dying as well. The side comes out, but it doesn't do its job. Skeeter gets back inside the base, but Amar has no help. He's running away from anyone else. He's got the movement speed by the looks of it, but XM's going to be able to catch up him, toss him to his grave. Skeeter tries to help out, but the Sunder's going to be there. He'll die shortly afterwards. They're going to buy back on Amar as well, but is there a further fight to be had? They just get the shackles. Hang on a second. It's not going to matter in the end by the looks of it. Vici Gaming, they're just too far ahead. And Falcons have crumbled through these past couple of team fights. This game and last game, they just couldn't take it to China. Oh, they even get the +1 as well.
They're done. This is basically a game. There's no defending with the Storm alone. He might try and put up a fight, but there's still ages of TB. This is... I don't know how you def this. They have a glyph. Okay, that's maybe a creep wave mid. He's trying to skip.
Get it. They know it didn't take it back though, so some people are starting to run to Lorinov. You're also losing more of your buildings though.
He defended. Like, he actually did a really good job there. He creep skipped. This is now true backdoor protection that he is taking down the racks. But there is no, at least Throne didn't fall, so they have another fight in them.
Arnold?
There's no mana. Tiny too far, of course. He was still mid.
Man, if you thought you had problems already, now you got a Daedalus on the Terrorblade. XM's going to be able to find an angle as well. Snake King comes too far forward. And now everyone else as well has just put themselves on the chopping block. And that's going to be all she wrote. Falcons eliminated from the hunt at PGL Wallachia Season 7. We've had lots of different teams being able to get a victory here at PGL, but Falcons still yet to find their first trophy, and Vici will not.